don't you start by introducing yourself?
My name is Yin-kun. My Battle.net ID is Socrates, and I'm the assistant manager of Team Infinity 7.
And I'm Jingna. I go by Jin on VNet, and I'm the team owner and head manager.
Okay, so since you're the owner, why don't you sort of give us a little bit of a history of how the whole thing started with this team?
I came to a copy of StarCraft 2 because I used to work a lot in digital arts, and a lot of my friends working games, and so one of them gave me a copy of StarCraft from like someone who works at Blizzard. So I started playing, and I made some friends through just public chat channels, and we kind of just started playing as a clan.
Okay, and how did it evolve from playing as a clan to a team that makes a trip to a major tournament like this? I feel like there's a big gap in there. That must be quite a story.
I used to do air rifle professionally for 6 years, and I attended World Cups, World Championships, Commonwealth Games, and I've won a gold medal at Commonwealth Shooting Championships. So I guess after a while, because of course I mean we are filled with like a group of people who want to get better, and we just eventually started trying like a lot harder, and so it just snowballed, and we're here.
Okay, and what about you? How did you get involved?
I actually met Jingna in a 4v4 match on ladder, and then someone told me she was a girl, and I didn't believe her, so I messaged her, and then we just started talking, and then we realized we had a lot in common. We both really love, we both really love esports, and I just play casually with a lot of friends, and then she just asked me, if I wanted to help out with the team, and then eventually we got to here.
Okay, can you give me a brief history of how you've played video games and how you got into esports?
I've always played like video games like RPGs and things like that. I only started playing StarCraft for almost a year now, not after the beta, around like last fall. I played because a lot of my guy friends played, and a lot of my friends we like to play team games all the time. It was pretty fun, so that's how I got into StarCraft.
Okay. And what about you?
Well, I kind of mentioned, how I came to StarCraft, but I guess I used to play some console games, PS3, and mostly for the same reasons, because friends were working on games like Final Fantasy or God of War and things like that.
Okay. So how'd you sort of get this group? How'd you recruit these specific players?
Before Yankun came on board, I had another manager with me called Pesh, and he goes by the alias Detox. So he used to be on Warcraft 3 team that was kind of semi-pro, which all my growing was on. And so he knew some players, and he kind of started trying to get them. So growing was like the only one who came with us and stayed on board for all this time. And later on, we go through ladder and we see who our players meet on ladder and through tournaments, So we talk to people, and after a while, you kind of just build up a base. And because I do photography, I do a lot of things. Like I have a fan base of my own, so I kind of publicly ask to like recruit people who like to cast or who like to play with us. And FXO Wolf, who is casting for GSL right now, he actually came to try out to cast for us before he joined FXO. So we got some followers from that time, and also decent players who follow his stream, that came on with us. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you are the assistant manager, is what you said, right? Can you sort of describe your role?
I help out a lot with scheduling for Clan Wars, so I do a lot of administrative work, and then we kind of all recruit together, so we all try to, because Gina is busy a lot of the time with her job, or if I get busy, we'll switch off by, keeping tabs on our players, helping them set up with games. So I do a lot of administrative work.
Okay. Once, like you said, you meet players in tournaments or on ladder, once a player is sort of spotted, what's the process like? Is there, do they have to be initiated? Is there some deep dark secret, or is it just like, well, we like you, you're good enough, you can join?
Trade secret. I'm just kidding. I guess it depends on players, because this StarCraft scene, it's only so big, and there's a very high chance that someone may know this person. We might ask around friends for feedbacks, how is this person's gameplay? Maybe was his win in this tournament a fluke, or how are his mannerisms? Because for me, it's really important to make a team that has really well-mannered players, because I want it to be like a family and everyone really supportive of each other. I don't want someone to be really, really extremely good, but he's gonna like BM everyone and like no one's gonna like him. Like I don't want something like that. So case by case basis, right?
I mean, we do a tryout. We have whoever our potential recruit is play a lot of our players in different matchups, and we see how they do, and we see how they fit in as a team. So as managers, we talk to them a lot. We want to know their background. We want to know what their potential is and how they feel about StarCraft, if they have potential to grow, will they help out the team. So, I mean, I think as our players all probably believe that, like, one of the strongest part about our team is, Jingna. She's a really great support for the team, and, she really helps the team grow a lot. So she's, like, the reason we're all here.
She's a great manager too. She really, really helps a lot, because sometimes if I travel, I fly about 5-6 times a month, and that puts me in the air for at least 6-7 days out of the month altogether. And like all these traveling just makes it impossible for me to keep tabs on player all the time. So she really keeps tabs on them, like, and help. That really, really helps. Because players, they're not so disciplined on their own.
It sounds like it takes a lot of dedication. So on a scale of from hobby to business, from professional to sort of just casual, where would you place this team in how important it is to you and how important it is to her and all the players?
I think this team, to me, on a scale of 1 to 10 would be at 10. Yeah, I literally treat it almost like pretty much a full-time job. So, yeah.
Okay. So what are some of your goals for the team?
Of course, ideally to see the players at GSL, eventually one day. But, 6 years for Air Rifle, like, I started from being a complete amateur from zero. And so I know realistically it takes, like, one step at a time. Like, all these, like, a lot of things that are necessary to get better. Like, a lot of teams are sending players to Korea to train team houses. Like, I know that it's important even before this became a popular trend recently. So I'm going to do that one day.
What are some of the bigger obstacles you've faced in, organizing a team like this and getting everyone here and just keeping the guys, playing and focused?
I think, like, managing itself, like, working with a lot of people is always going to be difficult, because it's very easy to have friction with each other, especially over the internet, because we can see each other's tones. There could be disconnection issues when you're talking to someone and you think they get mad, right? And all these little things, just gotta be really, really forgiving and understanding and patient, but at the same time actually get things done. So, like, all these things come together, and it's not easy. I mean, Yanko knows. She has to talk to a lot of players, like, ask her.
I think one of the obstacles as a team is because we're such a new team and we were only formed in February. A lot of people don't know us out there, and they, our team is really undermined. Even though we have really solid players, we're not as well known yet. So definitely getting our names out there and getting our team to be really respected as a top esports team is definitely a challenge.
So this is tough. Like, it's a business venture essentially. I'm sure, like, financially, you can get into the specifics as much as you want, but how does it work? How difficult is it to do something like this? Like, are you speaking with sponsors and things like that?
We're in talks with a few sponsors right now. So, because, currently for the last MLG and this current one, Anaheim, we are kind of part sponsoring some of the players. We're fully sponsoring some of them from the team, but it's all coming from, like, purely from the team, I guess, myself, and with a few private sponsors on the side. But I think for the next MLGs, we will be having a few actual bigger name sponsors on board with us. Yeah.
Are there any other revenue streams that you're sort of exploring other than just sponsorships?
Getting the players to stream, but it's kind of a chicken and egg issue, because a lot of them don't have really good computers. So we're working on to see what we can do about it. Yeah. Okay.
So I asked her, what are your goals for the team over the next 6 months and whatnot?
Long term, our goals are obviously in line, but in the short term we are definitely looking forward to help develop our players. We want to help them achieve their ideal results at the next MLG or at their tournament. So we want to help, create an environment to help our players to grow, and we definitely want to expand our team. We want to make our roster stronger and make our team stronger overall.
Warcraft 3 team has been around for 4 years now.
Okay.
Actually, a lot of our players from the Warcraft 3 team, like those who have switched over to StarCraft 2, have been doing really well, decently well. So one of them, Violet, he's on MVP now, I think. I think so, yeah. And then Over the Zero, I think he's been taken into MVP as well. And Maka, he's on Prime. And so we're potentially looking into switching some more of the players, because those players switched out to StarCraft 2 before we had a merger with the Warcraft team itself. So we're looking at switching some of the Warcraft 3 players to StarCraft later.
What is the state of the Warcraft 3 scene right now?
Kind of dead in the U.S., but it's still
Well, it's
really,
been dead
really
in the US
popular.
for a while, right?
But it's still really popular in Korea and China. Like for Korea, I think WCG, Moon and Lin and Violet are all gonna play Warcraft 3. Like under the popularity poll, I think it had more than 50% votes for WCG, which is really, really big considering how much attention, StarCraft has been getting for like GSL and things like that. Yeah, so it's actually pretty surprising.
How much attention do you still give to your Warcraft 3 team?
We do have a Warcraft 3 manager, so that's been his team, and he joined because Pesh, our other manager, used to work with him a little bit during their Warcraft 3 times. So kind of because like a lot of teams are looking at international expansions, and that's kind of, I guess, part relationship from back then, and also because we do believe the team will, both teams will be good for each other to be together.
Okay, and I guess it's sort of an interesting question because of the different futures that both scenes seem to have. But what are the goals for the Warcraft 3 team for the next year? What are you hoping to accomplish with the team?
I hope they do well at WCG in Korea. I think we have 8 players going for the offline LAN. Previously, we have had them in round of 8 and round of 16, and recently one of our undead players, Believe, beat Infi and TH000 in an invitational, which is really, really impressive just the last 2 days. So hoping for good results at WCG.